Did you see the swerve coming? Did you know? Okay, you didn't see that. So you thought AJ was actually gonna retire?
I mean, with everything that they did, I was like, okay, coming into SmackDown when I was like, okay, AJ's gonna address the crowd. I was like, okay, he's not retiring. He still has plenty of left in the tank. Like, this is my initial thought. I'm like, okay, he's not retiring. Like, he looks very good in the ring still. Like, there's no reason for him to retire. And then he came out, was like thanking everybody, like, I want you to come out with me. You've been there the whole time. I was like, okay, this guy is really retiring right now. I'm just thinking, like, as this all going on, he goes out, he goes to the ring, everything, basically crying. I was like, okay, he's really retiring right now. Like, and then he comes up with the story of, I got to see my son graduate. It's like, instead of being a phenomenal AJ Styles, I would be a phenomenal dad. I was just like, okay.
That was a line.
I was like, okay, he's really gonna retire then. It's just like, just like that. Like, oh,
Josh, this was very obvious to me. And anybody who watched wrestling, I guess from like the mid 2010s to now. So there's a number of things going on. So when AJ Styles came out to the ring, he did like his whole thing where he gets down and then so it's like, if you're in that kind of emotional state, I doubt you'd be doing that. It'd be much more of a somber occasion. So that was
talking about when we talking about when he came out for the entrance. And he does usually the thing.
Yeah, yeah, that was a misstep. It did not look very convincing for that. But even before that, when I saw his suit, when you see that Men's Warehouse pastel suit, it looks good, but it's very similar to the suit that Mark Henry wore when he pulled that stunt against John Cena. Do you remember that?
Oh my God!
It's the exact same style of suit. And Mark came out to the ring. If you put the two videos side by side and just watch the segments, not in the sense of like how they moved or what they did, but in terms of the setup, Mark, that was probably his best promo of his career. AJ Styles did phenomenal character work. He was the emotion that he conveyed, I knew what was going on, but he looked believable. If you didn't actually know.
Yeah, he was like had kind of like tears in his eyes. He was like,
"Oh yeah,
I want to be a phenomenal dad." I was like, "Oh shit, okay, yeah, do it. I'm not mad at you, dude."
Right,
do it.
And then he called Cody out.
Yeah,
and then Cody is next level when it comes to his emotion. I don't know what he's picturing in his mind to get the tears going, but he like sucked in his lips and he looked like a turtle or something like that. Like Franklin. You remember the book?
Yeah.
he looked like Franklin in the ring. It's like, Cody, come on, man. It's like, I guarantee you, Cody, we should start a calendar for Cody is to track how many weeks he cries in the ring. Because at this point, the Cody crybaby is really becoming a real thing. I love Cody Rhodes, but I think emotion it's something in a wrestling arena. It's something that is done well when used sparsely.
Yeah.
If you just have somebody come into the ring and crying every week, it loses its effect. The same thing with everything. It's a law of diminishing returns. Yeah. But Cody looked very believable. Both of those men looked very believable. Little bro and big bro. And then they laid it on thick. Like, how many times did they do the thing where they raised each other's up? Well, Cody raised his arm.
At least 4 or 5 times.
So at what point did you realize that AJ was going to turn on him?
I didn't until he actually turned on him. That's the thing.
Right? Oh man. Okay. So then that stiff clothesline.
I think maybe if I had more knowledge of like the Mark Henry situation, maybe I would have caught it. But like I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, okay, this is what really did take my concern. I was looking at the time. I always look at the time, and by the time like it seemed like they was kind of wrapping it up at like 9:54. Now it was like a whole 6 minutes they had time. So I was like, what's gonna happen? Like how are they gonna end this exactly? So it was just interesting that so when they did that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's how they're gonna fill the rest of the time up, because it seemed like it was gonna end really quickly, like it was really premature. So I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? But I didn't see it coming until he actually did it. I was like, okay, this is interesting.
It went from 0 to 100.
Yeah,
fast. And he just put the boots on Cody's ass, and Cody didn't get a lick of offense. And then he took him outside and threw him in the steps, and then the Styles Clash off of the steps. That was a dangerous spot, because if you take the Styles Clash wrong, you tuck your head, your head would get crushed into your chest, like folded forward. And so when he was going up the steps, Cody is a professional, and I mean, you just didn't know how to take it. He braced himself with the move properly. But I couldn't tell whether or not he could do the Styles Clash on the steps or off the steps.
That's what I thought he was going to do, on the steps too. I thought he was going to do on the steps, yeah.
But he did. I thought that'd been more depth. It's probably a lot more dangerous too.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was like. Oh, on the steps. I was like, oh, okay, off the steps. Okay. Woo, okay. Goodness.
It was funny because the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Gallows, Luke Gallows, they stopped Nick Aldis and the referees.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those things where people were just like, put him down, and nobody's actually doing anything. They weren't doing that thing. They were actually trying to, but they were getting stopped off the ramp. And I think this is going to be exciting. I would love to see AJ Styles, like I said, get desperate and just be nasty. Like right now, he wants that belt, and he said he doesn't have much time. So he's going to stoop to the lowest of the low in order to get another run with the gold. And the only downside to this is he's going to lose again.
That's the thing. Like that's the only biggest disappointment with this. Is like he can do all this, but he's not going to get the belt again. That's right, the biggest disappointment. Yeah, not from Cody. Like that's just probably like the biggest disappointment. But it's just like, okay, yeah, I do like it. I thought it was really it was pretty good as far as like compelling. AJ just doing a complete 360, calling him, yeah, you're big, bro. he really laid it on thick. Like he did everything.
I will say, when I
went to pass the keys to you. Like, oh, okay. So yeah,
Cody just thought he was gonna get the keys, and he got an ass whooping.
Maybe I was thinking too after like just dissecting everything. Maybe it'll be a thing where AJ comes out later like, I'm not gonna give you keys. If you want the keys, you gotta take it from me. And maybe,
but he already beat him, so I think it's too late for.
Yeah, or maybe that'll be his last match or something like that, or maybe I don't know, something like that.
Maybe to somebody, but the storyline escalated past the keys, man. This is personal. Like you baited me into the ring and used your homeboys to help him get into me and beat me up. You know, I think about the weird stuff that's adjacent to the wrestler. While Cody was getting beat up, he was wearing a really nice suit. He even had like the little chain that goes from here to the shirt and connects to the whatever's in his pocket. Anyhow, he's decked out 3-piece suits, fine watches and stuff like that, the shoes. And just as somebody I care about my clothes too, specifically, like, you're a sneakerhead where you were at one point. Shoes get creased, so I was just wondering, over the course of these shows of him getting beat up in his suits, did the suits not get destroyed? Like, he can only wear. That's a lot of money to be wasted, you know? Like, imagine somebody, like, the pants or the jacket tears, the shoes get creased, the watch face gets broken. Like I said, I'm being very pedantic here because that's how I am. But then also, a swerve that I was thrown was the Good Brothers coming out with him, because when AJ Styles, when he first came back after being put out by the Bloodline, do you remember that?
Yeah, he was mad at him, and he was like...
He was mad at them, yes.
Yeah, he was mad at them. So that's another reason...
You still with us? And they said, I don't know, are we? And didn't he smack somebody, too?
I don't know. He didn't smack anybody, but he definitely said that, and he didn't really interact with them at all after that.
Nah, he walked off from him.
Yeah, he was like, are we good? I was like, yeah, are we? And then basically after that, like, AJ became a heel, and they didn't really interact anymore. So
at all.
So when he came back tonight and he was talking, he was like, you guys been with me since the beginning. I was like, oh shit, he's retiring. Like, they're not gonna show this footage if something's not happening. Like, something's happening.
Yeah, they're not gonna explain like how they got back in. The plot.
Or maybe they turned heel with them. Why are
they helping him now and they didn't help him before?
That's the thing, yeah. And plus, they was holding back Nick Aldis. Like, why would you do that? They had to have some type of. They had to have known something, right? For them to do that. So I mean, so it would be interesting to see how they play off of that if they do. You know,
I'm just glad they're revisiting the feud, because do you remember, like, right after their first match, I said that this is a lot of gas in the tank and they could really build on it.
Yeah, you said they can do another one. Yeah,
a great program.